And welcome back to North of the Broad. Jonathan Haupt is with me now. He, as you know, is the executive director of this fabulous Pat Conroy Literary Center, which is located in downtown Beaufort. Good to see you again.
You too, Robin.
So we have some author events coming up in the next few weeks.
We do.
The first one is actually on the 29th, which is a Tuesday, 6 o'clock, and it's going to be actually in the room that we're taping in, a very interesting author of the Orchid Tattoo. So tell us about Carla.
That's right. This is my friend Carla Damron from Columbia, South Carolina.
Right.
She was a social worker for years and years and started writing mystery novels that always have social themes. So the idea of mystery and jeopardy and then real world problems are always kind of intertwined for her. Right. And she's gotten really fascinated with the idea of human trafficking. And so she spent a lot of time researching that, which ultimately became the Orchid Tattoo, her brand new novel.
Would you say it's dark?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's dark. That is a dark topic, understandably right. So. And her heroine in this novel, the detective figure, if you will, is a social worker who's dealing with her own mental illness. So there are multiple layers to the story about what's real and what isn't real, and whether or not this is even the right person to address this particular kind of problem. So it's a beautifully done novel. And while Carla is here, she's also going to visit with some young writers and young readers out at Beaufort Academy as part of an author visit program that we do out there.
Right. And so when you have the event, I know Facebook Live, you'll be doing that as well, but is do you interview her or does she speak?
I am interviewing her in this particular format. We do a lot of different variations on author events, but that Tuesday night here in our Dorothea Benton Frank Education Room, where you and I are seated right now, Carla and I will be doing this kind of thing, so we'll be in conversation. I've known her a while. I was the editor and publisher of her previous novel, The Stone Necklace, so I'm very familiar with her writing style, and I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Okay, that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, you go on and register on the
website.
You
do, yes, because we have limited seating here in the room. If you can register in advance and let us know you're coming, that's helpful. But as you mentioned, we're also Facebook Living it,
which is
so you can watch it live on Facebook or anytime thereafter.
Perfect. Well. And then once a month, we have open mic on the first Thursday of the month.
Second Thursday.
Second Thursday, December 8th this year.
That's right. This will be our last open mic and actually our last author event of the year as well.
Okay.
This is a partnership we have with South Carolina Writers Association, which is our statewide writers organization. And so writers from really anywhere, as it turns out, all over the country participate in open mic, but it ends each month with a featured writer. And on December 8th, that evening at 6, our featured writer is Juan Eugenio Ramirez, who's written this beautiful, already award-winning book that just came out called The Man with Wolves for Hands.
That is so interesting.
It is.
With his hands are like a wolf or just like a paw?
His hands are quite literally live wolves. Yeah, so it's a surrealist novel.
Right.
I was at a writer's conference recently where a writer said, you can get readers to believe one unbelievable thing, so you got to be smart on how you spend the coin. And Juan has spent it in a big way. He wants you to believe that here is a man who quite literally has wolves for hands.
So what is that format like, an open mic?
In open mic, the writers who participate from anywhere, they have about 3 minutes of time, which they can read a poem or a story or an excerpt from a story, fiction or nonfiction. And as you know, here in Beaufort County, we have a huge contingent of authors.
I know.
So this is a great way for a lot of our local writers to get some visibility and get a response from an audience. And then they also get to see, by way of our featured writer, somebody who's a little further along in the writer's journey, maybe has a bit more to say about craft and publication as well. So there is a learning component, an educational component to the conversations that happen between new writers and more established writers, even in the open mic format.
And it's an hour?
Yeah, sometimes an hour and a half, depending on how many people sign up for it.
Okay, very cool.
We used to do these at a little coffee shop in town, and it would just be the writers who would show up to hear each other, which was wonderful. That's not a complaint. But during the pandemic, it went virtual, and authors and readers who are nowhere near Beaufort County would never be able to participate in person suddenly can. Okay. So we've been doing it that format for a little over 2 years now, and it's been wonderful.
The beauty of COVID. Right?
Yeah,
it's really opened up
some positive takeaways from this. It's opened up lines of communication that weren't there before.
And just very quickly, we've got about 30 seconds, a little Lowcountry library now on the Spanish Moss Trail.
That's right. This is a project of our Camp Conroy summer camp, which you and I have talked about any number of times. So our Camp Conroy counselors worked with professional artist Aki Kato to design and paint this beautiful little Lowcountry library, as we say, which is newly installed at the Depot Road Trailhead, about a mile from where we are here at the Conroy Center. You can take a book, you can leave a book. It's just a really nice way to bring books into a space where they weren't otherwise.
And there's also one right here at the Pat Conroy.
Right in front
Center.
of the center,
Yes.
both built by the same builder, so they're kind of twins of each other.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you all for watching this edition of North of the Broad, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.